If you remember, some years ago, there was what's called the Atkins diet, revolutionary. And we have right now a man who lost 180 pounds in just 1 year. And he did it with a diet most doctors, except Atkins, don't approve of. But Jimmy Moore has kept the weight off for 10 years. Our health reporter, Laurie Johnson, tells us why this diet works and why doctors are changing their minds about it.
Jimmy Moore grew up an overweight child, putting on even more pounds in college. After marrying, he ballooned to 410 pounds, eating 2 boxes of Little Debbie snack cakes and drinking 16 Cokes a day.
I was wearing size 62-inch waist pants. I was wearing 5 XL shirts. I was on 3 prescription medications for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, breathing problems. I was a mess.
His wife prayed for a miracle.
Once I gave it to God, I said, He's in your hands. Sorry. That's when everything became okay. I was scared because I didn't want to be without him. And I loved him so much.
Jimmy says God led him to give up carbohydrates, the sweet, starchy foods, and the pounds melted away.
And the big thing, came off of cholesterol-lowering medication, came off of blood pressure medication, came off of the breathing medication, all within like 6 or 8 months.
Jimmy is not alone. Dr. Eric Westman, a nationally renowned obesity expert, heads up the Duke Lifestyle Medicine Clinic. When his patients follow Jimmy's diet, they lose weight and don't need their medicine anymore.
Here at Duke, we use mainly the low-carbohydrate ketogenic diet to treat diabetes and obesity and all the other problems that come with obesity. Hypertension gets better, heartburn gets better, fatty liver, the list goes on and on.
Dr. Westman recommends keeping carbs down to about 20 grams a day. That's not much. This cupcake is already too high. It has 26. But don't just think desserts. Carbohydrates include whole grains and fruit. This piece of bread has 20 grams. This banana, 27.
So I separate out fruits and vegetables. I'll never say them in the same sentence. So fruits basically are high in sugar. Vegetables have much less sugar. So we want people to have vegetables. Fruits are an every now and then treat like candy or something that you wouldn't have every day.
The key to giving up carbohydrates is replacing them with some protein and a lot of fat. Yes, fat. That includes monounsaturated fat and also saturated fat.
If there's one message I think I'm trying to put out there loud and clear, say it loud, say it proud. I love my butter. I love my coconut oil. I love all of these nourishing fats that are making me healthy, energetic, vibrant. I'm sitting here today, the healthy man, because of those fats.
Many doctors and even the government tell us to avoid saturated fat because they say it causes heart disease. But Dr. Westman joins a growing number of physicians who say saturated fat is good for you.
I tell my patients not to fear the fat, eat lots of fat. Fat makes you feel full. There's no problem with fat. In fact, saturated fat, the fat that we've been taught not to eat, raises your good cholesterol best of all the food you can eat.
In their new book, Cholesterol Clarity, Dr. Westman and Jimmy Moore explain why we need to rethink what we've learned about fat and carbs, pointing to new scientific evidence showing inflammation as the main cause of heart disease and other problems. It comes from eating too many carbohydrates, not high cholesterol. The book goes further, explaining that some cholesterol can be good for you. HDL cholesterol is good, as well as some LDL, but only the large, fluffy particles. Small, dense LDL particles do lead to heart disease. They come from eating an inflammatory diet loaded with not saturated fat, but carbohydrates. So for a smaller belly and a stronger heart, Jimmy embraced the fat and quit the carbs.
I had a heart scan score. We talk about all this in the book. A heart scan where they just do a CT of your heart to see if there's any calcified plaque in there. 0. none, 85% fat in my diet, and no clogged arteries.
A low-carbohydrate, high-fat diet is controversial among doctors and goes against conventional wisdom. But a growing number of doctors say success stories like Jimmy's are making them take a closer look at how a low-carb, high-fat diet might help their obese patients.
All those years that I was dealing with the obesity, I knew God was hearing my prayer, and that someday, wasn't going to be necessarily in Jimmy Moore's timing, but in someday I was going to find the answer that was right for me, and I have. And now I'm trying to spread that to other people and be an encouragement to them.
Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Okay, thanks, Lori. Their book is called Cholesterol Clarity, and it's Jimmy Moore and Eric Westman, MD. It's available where books are sold. And Terry, this is the Atkins diet. It's the Stillman diet. It's been around forever and ever. And what happens is when you eat all these proteins, you build up what's called ketosis. And that means that your body begins to eat the fat that's stored up in it. The only problem is, it's like, the old-time furnaces that used to work on coal. Mm-hmm. They used to have clinkers and ashes, and you had to, get in there and take out the clinker. You remember? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, when your body burns this stuff with no carbohydrates, what happens is you build up the clinkers, and you get swollen joints. You get gout, you get all kinds of problems where you ache like crazy. Now, I know everybody, they thought Atkins was wonderful and they've got all these scientific tests, but that's the truth of it. If you don't have some carbs in there, the carbs are the fire that burn everything completely.
But it sounds like that's what they've discovered, is that there are carbs that are good carbs that you add to it.
Not really. They're not adding anything. This thing is almost totally fat and protein, and you can eat cheese and you can eat a lot of bacon and so forth. But sooner or later, it violates the principles that God set down. And I tell you, we used to have Atkins here as a regular on this program. He came down to get free haircuts from us, and he came down here, and we did him, as a regular. And I'm all for them, but I've tried them all, and I'll tell you, gout, buildup of nitrogen in your joints. I don't care what they're saying on this. I don't agree totally, although I do believe that there's no doubt that inflammation is causing the heart attacks, and it's caused by junk food and high glycemic carbs. That's what's killing people, and that we've got an epidemic of diabetes and all these things. And so, Laurie, keep it up, darling. You're doing a wonderful job, but please let me be a doubter on this one.